Plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome, of course, to All Sports All Plays Network. This is the NBA special show here called Boxed Out. Yeah, we switched up the name on y'all real quick, but hey, this is it's still gonna become the same good material, same fire material as always, and we got the crew in the house. I'm gonna start with the guy to the left of me, Landon. What's going on?
What's up, everybody? We got some fire topics tonight. I'm ready to get rolling. Just about the same level as Real Talk. We're with them now, so I'm ready to get rolling.
All right, let's go. Let's go, Freddie. Top left. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Y'all know you had to have the goat on here. I mean, I'm just saying. I gotta
Oh,
bring the heat.
Oh God!
I gotta bring the heat. Yeah, let's roll.
Oh God!
All right, Trey, up at top middle. What's going on with you?
Oh man, I'm excited. This is my. I know when we talked about doing the show, I was part of it, and I haven't got to do it for the last 3 weeks because of holidays, and I was on vacation. So I'm excited for my first show. I cannot wait to get into some NBA talk.
All right, and the OG of the show, Mike. What's going on, baby?
What's going on, everybody, man? Looking forward to a good show tonight.
All right.
You got to beat Coach Cam first, Will, before you become the
Thank
goat.
you. I am the GOAT on that. But, we'll get into it. We'll get going on our topics. But before we get on that, we have to pay the bills. We gotta check out our sponsors. And, of course, we got Suzanne Paparazzi, home of the $5 jewelry, 24/7 shopping available, www.paparazziaccessories.com, code 160920. Hey, you have a daughter, small daughter, one likes jewelry. This is a perfect place to get some nice, inexpensive jewelry at Suzanne Paparazzi. All right, Landon, tell the fans how they can get a free T-shirt, man.
We see Will and Brandon right now in the comment section, and we're tallying down everybody who comments. And at the end of the month, we'll see who did it the most, and you'll become our viewer of the month, and you'll get your very own T-shirt.
Gotcha. And for the people who don't perhaps watch the show or don't watch it live, how can they get a T-shirt?
You can contact anybody here at the ASAP Network, and we can get you your very own T-shirt. It's as easy as that, and it's $14.95. So it's a deal. If you don't take it, it's your fault. Honestly, that's all I got to say about that.
Ooh, it was their fault, so they missing out.
They're missing
out.
They missing out on that. Yeah, they actually missing out. I finally got one. Look good, man. Look nice. I'm gonna sport it one day, on the show. But all right, we got more. What we got? Misty Meadows. Talk to him.
Oregon made Misty Meadows, Jam and more. Check them out at 48053 Highway 101 South in Brandon, Oregon. Give them a call at 541-347-2575.
All right. There it is now. It's time. It's time to get this show going. It's time to get it rolling. Now, let's get on the first topic. Okay. Brooklyn Nets. I know it's been a while since we did our first show. First NBA show. Before, I think we were all high on the Brooklyn Nets. After watching them for a couple weeks now, having some ups and downs, a little bit of struggle here and there. Are we still bullish on the Brooklyn Nets, like everyone else has been? Are we still considering them Eastern Conference finals participants or possible finals participants? I'm gonna start with you, Mike. I'm gonna start with you on this one. What you think about the Brooklyn Nets? Are you still high on them?
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. And I'm going to tell you why. Right now, Kyrie's, acting up a little bit, but we all know how Kyrie is. That's just the way he is. But let me tell you, the Nets, in my eyes, they need to get rid of all that stuff right now. Right now they got 2 easy games coming up. Katie's out with the COVID thing. And I think they'll be fine. They got too much talent. They got too much depth on the bench. I think that the Nets are going to be there. At the end, they definitely will be there. Then, of course, when it comes crunch time, you need ball players that can put the ball in the hole. And you got Kyrie who can go to the cup on anybody. And then you got KD, lights out. So in my eyes, they're going to be all right.
Mike still bullish on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to go Trey. What's up, Trey?
What's up?
What you got on Brooklyn? Are you still high on Brooklyn? You still rolling with them?
I am. I mean, it's still early in the season. They got off to a hot start, but every team that has made major changes combine 2 superstars. You can look at LeBron's teams. You can look at Kobe's teams. You can look at all these teams in the past. It takes time to gel, especially with the new first-time head coach and Steve Nash. And then you have Kyrie doing Kyrie things, who thinks the world's flat thing. And I don't know what goes through that guy's mind. It kind of cracks me up a little bit. You don't know what you're going to get from him week out, but I do know what I'm going to get from him come playoff time. Tell you that guy's a baller in the playoffs. KD, he's the best player that's come back from the Achilles injury. That guy hasn't looked like he missed a beat. He'll come back from COVID. He'll be back. Yeah, you have LeVert. You have Jeff Green, Joe Harris shooting threes. I mean, this team is stacked. They can score. Their bench is dead. Man, I'm just telling you, this team. Yeah, I still have them win the East, but one team that has surprised me is the 76ers. But I still have the Brooklyn Nets taking it.
All right. Freddie Hendo, what you got for him?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I heard all the little nice talk. Hey, I mentioned this on Real Talk. A few weeks ago. They got all the scores. You got one of the best scorers in the game. Okay, Kevin Durant looks nice. Okay, I apologize. He looks like Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving looks like Kyrie Irving. That Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be a big loss. I don't know who they going to be able to pick up to replace him. That's a big loss, man. And like I told y'all thought I was crazy. This team have a lot of offense, but I don't see a lot of defense on this team. I just don't. What are you going to do? Yes, you have Jared Allen. Yes, you have DeAndre Jordan, but we all know DeAndre Jordan is an older guy. He's older. He's not the same like he was with the Clippers. He's not that guy anymore. This team, yes, they can score with anybody, but when it comes down to getting stops, making stops, who's going to be that guy that helps steps up and anchor that defense? What wing do you have on this team is going to help you play defense? I'm not talking about the regular season. I'm talking about when it comes postseason, when defenses get tight, when people start clamping up. What is this team going to be able to do to stop the opposing offense? That's my only concern. Then on the Kyrie Irving deal. Listen, man, Kyrie Irving, this dude made the mistake when he left LeBron James, okay? I think he needs somebody. Listen, what I'm saying is this dude thinks he got to be the main guy. He's not the main guy, Kyrie. You need to be the Robin. You need to take the second role. This dude right here, I don't know, for a guy to say the earth is flat, man, and I like Kyrie, man. This dude can dance on you. Yeah, I like this dude. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, Freddie going against the grain here. Landon, what you think? Are you still high on Brooklyn?
Yes. Who plays defense anymore in the NBA? If you got scorers that can back up your bad defense, you're going to be just fine, right? I don't know why that was even an argument in what Freddie said.
Landon, you got
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
No, Landon. I'm not gonna let you take a shot at me and let you go.
Okay.
Did you not see last year that the Lakers team they did not depend on their offense, they depended on their defense. So they're still people out there play defense. Okay, let's not act like there's not nobody playing defense. Okay.
All right, but Kevin Durant's a better scorer than Anthony Davis and LeBron James. I'm going to sure, Anthony Davis has better defense than them, but he's a better scorer. He can make up for that defense. Same with Kyrie Irving. Who cares about a mindset with Kyrie? He can play ball. So, yes, I'm still high on the Nets. They're still the Nets. Whenever they're going to be healthy, they're going to be healthy, and they're going to win games, and they're going to make a run in the playoffs. So that's just how it is. I don't care what you say about your defense. They have offense. They can put up 130 a night. Like, I don't understand the big thing with defense here. I don't know why that was an argument, to be honest.
Well, go ahead, Trey.
Going back to Freddie saying DeAndre Jordan's not the guy he used to be with the Clippers. You're right. He's not. You know who wasn't either? Was your guy Dwight Howard last year on the Lakers, and he stepped up big time. When it comes to those playoff times, you're not playing every other day. You're not playing back-to-backs. You're going to have those days off, and you're going to see a better DeAndre Howard. And I will tell you this, or DeAndre Jordan, I'm sorry. I will tell you this, KD's defense when he went to Golden State stepped up. He started to become a really good defender too. So I would just watch out for him. That's
with him. He's amazing.
Trey, you say that. You talking about Dwight Howard. Nobody really questioned Dwight Howard's play. They questioned his mindset because when he was at the Hornets, he was still putting up numbers. He was still playing. They was trying to see, is he going to get out of that childish mindset? So let's not sit here and act like people was questioning, can Dwight Howard still play?
People were questioning Dwight Howard because of his back surgeries. What are you talking? He's not to say it wasn't the great defender that he was.
We've seen him with the Hornets still go out there and dominate. Well, not dominate.
Because there's no one else on the Hornets.
He was still putting up good numbers.
Yeah, for me, just touching on the Dwight Howard thing, I knew Dwight Howard would help. I knew it would help just because if he bought in, all he had to do was, catch a few lobs, get some offensive rebounds, and protect the rim. He could have been really good in that specialty role. He was, and he was good in that specialty role. However, the Brooklyn Nets, I still think they're an Eastern Conference Finals team, but it's going to be a struggle to get there. And the reason why it's going to be a struggle to get there is because I still want to see how Steve Nash handles adversity. I don't care if he has D'Antoni's over there. I don't care if he has anybody else over there. I want to know how Steve Nash is going to handle the adversity. When, you got Kyrie going off, he goes off into the deep end for a couple weeks, a couple weeks out the year always. And then well, right, exactly. He's right now. We don't know where his mindset is, but he's a hooper though. Once he goes on that court, you know what you're gonna get out of him. I just want to know, and I said this on the first show. I am high on Brooklyn, but I just want to know after they lost a couple games, come back down to earth. What's gonna happen moving forward? And I really want to see when KD comes back from COVID. I really want to see them string off a nice. Little winning streak where they win a nice amount of games in a row, maybe 5 or 6. I want to see that out of them to see if they're really, really ready to move forward and really play championship basketball. Because I think with this, everything's going on, and this basketball year, who knows what will happen. But I really think they need to start getting getting some cohesion together quickly, and start building some momentum. I know it's early. But like I said, 10 games is shaved off the top. It's only 72 instead of 82. And 10 games is a lot of games that'll make a difference. So you got to try to get going a little bit earlier if you're the Brooklyn Nets there. So once KD come back, I need to see a couple wins. I need to see a mini winning streak there, about 4 or 5 games in a row to let me know that they're ready to go. All right, moving on to the next topic. Now, the best point guard list came out. Steph wasn't number 1. We had Dame Dollar that was getting some love. He answered by dropping 62 on Portland. Now, is Steph back? I mean, did he show that he's the best point guard in the game by his 62-point performance? Or was this just one of those nights where a superstar got hot and it was just like a blip? I'm gonna start with you, Landon. Is Steph Curry the best point guard in the NBA?
Yes, I said it to start. When he is healthy, he is the best point guard, and I don't think it should be a question. I mean, Luka's playing good. Damian Lillard's playing good. And I think the guys I just said are your top three: Steph, Luka, and Dame. I don't know what order, but I know Steph's first. That 62 points was demanding, right? That showed me that he still has it in him at those 2 MVPs he had a few years back. He still has it in him that he can go out there and produce. Now this team, without Klay Thompson, who was their big loss this year, is obviously not doing what we thought they would. But you cannot put all the blame on Steph Curry there. Draymond Green is not a scorer. And that's their other star right now, in my opinion. I mean, Andrew Wiggins, he's playing good for who he is and how he played at the Timberwolves. But Steph Curry, after that 62 points, shows me that he is that number one, and there's no questions. Damian Lillard has been good. Luke has been good. But Steph's been tip-top. He's the best point guard in the league.
There it is. Landon made it Devin, best point guard in the league. Mike, is Steph the best point guard in the league today?
Yes, but not based on him getting 62 points. It's based on his resume. Two-time MVP, phenomenal shooter, has all the intangibles. In my eyes, Steph definitely is the best point guard in the NBA, but not based on it because he had one game where he got 60 points. Right now, he's playing with a team that doesn't have all the talent that he's used to having. Right now, they're 4-4 right now. What's going to be pretty good is he's going to have a real tough matchup tonight, where we're going to really see how well and how efficient he can be on the offensive end when you got to go against the Clippers. I'm anxious to see how well he's going to do then, when he has a real tough guy, going against him full court. But to answer your question, yes, he's definitely the best point guard, but not based on one game.
Gotcha. And that last game versus the Clippers, they played a couple nights ago, and Steph struggled a little bit with Patrick Beverly pestering 94 feet. So I'm anxious to see if he get back tonight. We'll go with Trey. Is Steph the best point guard in the NBA? He said, he thinking. That means it's a no.
I am.
That means it's a no if you got to think that
No,
hard.
it's close. No. I was debating between him and Dame, but I'm picking Steph. Steph's my guy. I like Steph ever since Davidson. I've followed him throughout. He's the best point guard just because the way the game has changed because of him too.
Right, that's a good point.
The way that we're shooting threes now, and the way people Dame Lillard, yeah, he can knock. But Steph was doing those first when he was knocking from 60 feet. I mean, let's just be real. When making 3/4 shots like nothing. I mean, the ball handles that this guy has. Remember, he was a shooting guard coming out of college and moved him to point guard. And his ball handling skills that he improved on each year made his assists a lot better. Yes, Clay is missing in this. I mean, we're seeing it. They don't have another scorer. You can't. Watching that Clipper game, he tried to get others involved, and they were not hitting. It was. I think it was like 14-6 with 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. I felt like I was watching an NBA game. No one was hitting shots. Steph was trying to get others involved. But if he gets some of these, like if Andrew Wiggins starts hitting and Pascal's going to be a player. If he gets him going, he can get the Warriors to. And I said this on Twitter. He can make them to the playoffs this year. And with this roster that he has right now, that'd be an achievement, especially with this roster because they don't have 3-point. They're the worst 3-point shooting team besides Steph.
That'd put him at the number one if he can get that team to the playoffs because they are not good.
I mean, who else are you going to put over number one? You can't put Kyrie. You don't. I mean,
right?
He doesn't play enough for me. Dame does, but he just doesn't. He doesn't feel like he does it on a consistent basis. He always does it on the big. Like I know it's big games, but he doesn't do it on the games like every other night. Like we're not paying attention. You have like a 62 point. You have a 62.9, then you have like a 28. It's not going to where Steph you can get like 30, 40, 60. Night in, night out. I mean, it's more consistently. I think I should say.
Freddie's going to say Damian Lillard. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead. You know, Freddie ready. I'm going to let him go.
Hey, man, this is wonderful. Will is watching basketball tonight, gentlemen. Hey, he's watching basketball, okay?
Yeah.
Bring him on.
But you know what? I cannot believe the three of you.
No.
Game time. Michael, you brought up the past. Yes, I understand the past, but who was on this man's team? Did he have a Klay Thompson, a Draymond Green, a Kevin Durant? So guess what? Even it makes it a little bit easier when you had a just a Steph Curry, a Klay Thompson, a Draymond Green, and Harrison Barnes. It makes it a little bit easier. Now he's being tested. We've seen Damian Lillard for times come and be, hey, he has to be the man, and he be consistent. And Trey, you talking about yes, because Steph Curry changed the game. Yes, you are absolutely right. He's the one to change it. But guess what? There's always somebody there to perfect it. Don't you know that Damian Lillard, when he shot from the logo center court last year, he had more. He shot it more, and he shot it better than Steph Curry.
We're not talking about the past.
I'm not
talking about the past.
So guess what? He perfected his game. He perfected the shot. He did something he did it better than Steph Curry. You talking about somebody got ice water in their veins, somebody that's clutch, who's not afraid of the moment. I've seen Steph Curry run from the moment many times.
You have?
I've seen it many times. But guess what?
Oh my God!
Guess what? When it's Damian Lillard, he says, "Give me the ball." It's Dame time, game time.
I think we're watching the wrong Curry here. You must be more.
I think you're right.
Man, I let you talk. You hush. You zip your mouth, and you let me talk, sir.
All right.
I seen a Steph Curry going against the Clippers the other night that looked like he wanted to shoot, but he was scared to shoot. He was passing the ball. He was too passive. But I'm like, wow, what is really going on?
With that game last night, they were double teaming Steph and making Steph pass the ball first off.
I've seen Damian Lillard got double teamed. He still made the shot. He still made it work. He still used his handles. He still made it work. Trey, don't give me that.
And he still wasn't making his teammates better. What do you think Steph Curry was trying to do? He's trying to
won the game. He won the game.
If Golden State didn't have Steph Curry right now, they would not be winning.
They're not going to the playoffs anyway. I don't know what you're talking about going to the playoffs. I said they wasn't going to the playoffs beginning of the season because I don't see no talent on this team.
Number one, that was
have you seen Draymond Green? He looked horrible.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Michael, you got anything to say after that before I go?
He did throw shade at Michael.
No, I was straight at all three.
Go ahead, Cam. Go ahead.
Okay. Best point guard in the NBA right now. I mean, you still gotta give it to Steph Curry.
How?
You still gotta give it to Steph Curry.
Outnumbered.
What do you mean how? I'll tell you how.
Thanks,
Okay. You want to say who all Steph had, right? You said he had KD, right? You said he had, this player, that player, Clay, whoever. Let's not forget who started the thing. Who started and got him rolling? Steph. Steph is the one that got the back-to-back MVP, unanimous at that. Let's start at that unanimously. And if we go into this year, everyone wants to say how Steph Curry is struggling, but yet he's averaging 30-plus points a game. And you talk about a team that is not good, and they're 4-4. I'm looking at Dame and his roster over the past few years. They've been good. I mean, he has another solid backcourt running mate in C.J. McCollum. They have a Nurkic. They have, like, right now you look at the team. They have Melo. They have Robert Covington. They have all these pieces, and yet they're starting off worse than the Warriors have. I would love if you gave Steph, C.J. McCollum, and Robert Covington and Nurkic and a bench and a play. You better believe they'd be right up there at the top of the West right now if that was the case. And we know this. Draymond is, and let's face it what it is. Draymond's getting a little older. He's not what he once was. Injuries starting to catch up. Is he a viable piece to the Warriors and what they do? Yes, absolutely. But as far as scoring, they really don't have no pure scorers on that team outside of Steph. You look at Andrew Wiggins, he hit or miss. Kelly Oubre went to Golden State, and now he can't shoot. We don't know. I don't know what happened to his three-point shot. James Wiseman's still growing up in the NBA. He's out there playing, honestly, outside of Wiggins and Oubre and Draymond. They're out there. The rest of the team is almost G League material. Seriously. If you look at it, and their bench is not what it used to be. I'm just saying, what's Steph doing right now at 4-4 with this roster? averaging 30 plus. He's struggling supposedly, and he's averaging 30 plus points a game.
That's more points than James Harden.
That's the level. That's the level that Steph Curry is at right now. It's at the top of the food chain. It's just like LeBron. If he comes out and let's say he averages 24 instead of 26, we all gonna say he's struggling. But that ain't the case. If you bring more to the game than just that. And I think Steph, what he does, which demanding a double team when he cross half court, opens up everything else and make it easier for everybody else. I still think he's the best point guard in the NBA. Go ahead, Freddie.
By the way, LeBron is averaging 24 points this year, by the way.
There you go. And that's down from normal. But you know what? That's cool. He ain't nobody saying he's really struggling like that.
Well, I got something.
Listen,
I know, man, I've raised my hand. It's my turn to talk.
Go ahead. I got next.
All right. Place, youngster.
Freddie, Landon, and then we're going to move on.
All right.
All right, check this out. You talking about the 4-4, right, Coach Cam? Let's look at this. Let's look at both these schedules, okay? You know, the first game of the season, the Jazz beat the Portland Trailblazers. Can we all agree that the Utah Jazz is a decent team? Yes. And then the Trailblazers took on the Houston Rockets. They beat them in overtime, 128 to 126.
Oh, okay. Wait. You want to consider Houston Rockets a good win now?
Yeah, they're a good team. We're still a John.
You want to consider?
Let him talk. I got this. Just let him talk.
They are a good team.
They're struggling.
They're still a decent team. They still got players.
Throw the names out the window.
They're 2-5.
They 2
All right, let me
and 5.
continue.
You can
Okay.
throw the
I
names out the
give you
window.
that. I give you that. My next one. All right. Then it went on to the championship Lakers and beat the Lakers. That's not impressive.
Oh, that's impressive.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, sir. Then they lost to the Clippers. They should lose that game. They have PG and Kawhi Leonard.
They should lose it. So
Yeah.
the best point guard in the NBA shouldn't pull that win out
Oh, I'm glad you said that, sir. Let's go even further.
with
All
CJ
right.
McCollum.
I'm glad you
Robert
said
Covington
that.
and his supporting cast.
Keep that same energy, okay? Then you got him going against your greatest point guard, okay? It's Steph Curry, and he put a whipping on him. We all know that. Then they turned around and lost to Golden State. That's when Steph Curry had that crazy game.
And who else they lose to after that?
They lost. They lost to the Bulls.
The Bulls.
Freddie, just stop. Just stop. You're digging a hole and you're just going down.
That's why I said don't stop at Golden State now.
Just
Then
quit.
Keep it going.
Then they beat the Timberwolves. All right, now let's go to Golden State schedule, shall we? All right.
Yeah.
They lost to the Bucks the first
The
game of
Bucks.
the season. They still getting things together. I give you that.
No Klay Thompson. Just
All right. Then they took a game-winning shot from not Steph Curry to beat the Chicago Bulls. They barely
They still won. They
still won.
It's a
A win's a
W.
win.
Freddie. It's a W.
Then they
Yeah.
beat the Pistons, which they should have.
Okay.
Then they lost to Portland by my great point guard. Then they beat Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Then they beat the Kings. It's the Kings. And now to last night, guess what? Your point guard looked horrible, scoring 13 points against the Los Angeles Clippers. Why could he not put up the 62 against
Okay.
that night?
All right, listen.
All
You were
right.
talking about the Clippers, and while they shut down Damian Lillard, you said they should. So why can't they shut down Steph Curry? You said Damian Lillard's the best point guard, Damian Lillard's the best point guard in the game. He got shut down by the Clippers. They lost. Steph Curry loses to the Clippers, scores 13, and you're all on him. Why is that?
Let's pull up his stats.
Man,
You're bringing schedule wins.
No, we don't need to bring up stats. We don't need to bring up stats. No, I'm good. We don't need to bring up stats.
We got
Yeah, you saw him, didn't you?
All right, Freddie, listen to what I was going to say earlier before.
You saw the stats.
He was
So
0 for 8 for 3-point line, so yeah, we don't need.
listen. So James Harden, the guy you're saying to respect all the time, right? And he's James Harden. Da, da, da. And didn't Cam? Didn't you say he averaged 30 plus? Steph
For the
did?
last 3
right
seasons.
now, yes.
For the last
Okay.
3 seasons.
James Harden's averaging 29 this year. So Steph Curry, our
That's
best
still
point
good
guard.
for a dude who don't want to be playing on the team.
Man, you find a way to like make
So, man,
everything
that's
better.
a bad
This
debate.
man could be averaging 10 points, and you'd be like, "Oh, he doesn't have anybody on his team."
Landon, if anybody in their right mind says if James Harden, for a man who do not want to be on that team, who let it be known that he don't want to be on the team, and still giving you 29, Houston, you should be really happy that he's still coming and giving you that work.
He's still James Harden. It doesn't make him not James Harden. Okay, you know what?
All right, guys. We really got to move on. All right. Early on, we got some sleepers. I'm not talking about who's gonna be. I'm talking about right now. And I'm gonna go to you, Trey. Who is the best team in the NBA right now after a few weeks of play?
This is the one here.
It's the Warriors. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. It's the Lakers. I don't see any team that can. Maybe the Nets if they get everything together, but right now the Lakers, they just look. Even though they lose games, they look better talent wise. They have LeBron, even though I hate saying that. They have AD. They got better shooters with Matthews. They got their defense is off the charts, really good. I just don't see anyone beating the Lakers anyway. I mean, I think the Lakers are the best team, even though they're 6-3. LeBron's only averaging 24 points. He's at 37 years of age, or 36 years of age. Sorry, but man, I just don't see any team more dominant than the Lakers have on their roster. I just think that they're going to be there at the end. I still think they're the best team.
All right, Freddie, who's the best team in the NBA? Even though I know your answer.
Trey, who did you say in this video was the best team? Who did you say?
Brooklyn.
So why are you changing it now? I want you to keep the same energy. Don't be like Landon.
Did I say this?
No, Freddie. The question was who's the best NBA team right now?
Right now, that was like what 5 days ago, 4 days ago.
Yeah.
A lot can happen.
Landon, when you come towards me, you stay in a child's place. You stay in your corner and you let me talk, okay?
Yeah, you have to
remember
keep my
that.
age against me because I can beat you in any sports debate. Come up. So Trey,
Oh
continue.
my God! Let's stay
Freddie,
on
go ahead and say what you want to say.
Freddie.
All right.
Who's the best
All right.
team in the NBA?
Man, I want the same respect that Golden State had, okay? I mean, you can't be the best until you beat the best, okay? Trey, I disagree with you on one thing. You said the Lakers just great on defense. Man, I have not seen that defense this year, honestly.
I'm sorry, Freddie, no one's playing defense right now. No one's playing defense.
That, but the only way the Lakers is going to win, and Anthony Davis not playing tonight. The only way the Lakers are going to win is that defense come back. I mean, I still think the Lakers need another big man. I like Montrezl Harrell, but I think the Lakers need a big man in that paint who can block some shots. Because it seemed like, me, I like what Marc Gasol brings to the game. He brings another ball carrier to the game. He passes the ball. But listen, man, the Lakers is still the best team in the game. You have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, running the court. I mean, you name a duo that's better than that. I mean, yes, you got Kyrie and Kevin Durant, but guess what? You have LeBron James, your wing. You have Anthony Davis, the big. I mean, this probably, man, they could be this. They could argue. You could argue that they could be better than Kobe and Shaq. You can make that argument. No, I don't think so. But you can make that argument. What I'm just saying is, they both get along. Kobe and Shaq didn't really get along. Anthony Davis can spread the floor. Shaq can't spread the floor. That's what I'm saying. That they bring another dynamic to the Lakers. I'm not saying that they're better. They still got to go out there and do what Kobe and Shaq did. But then you have the fit-out players, and you have a rookie by the THT, Tucker, but can come out there and give you valuable minutes. That just show you how deep this team is. They have 6 guys that's giving you double digits tonight. I mean, that's why you have LeBron scoring 24 points, because you have other guys giving you double figure points every given night. It's not just, last year it was the problem. Is Kuzma going to be that third star? Well, guess what? This year we have other guys that can be the third star. Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, Kuzma, KCP. It can be different guys every night. So that's why I say the Lakers are still the best team as of right now.
Lakers the best team. All right, Landon, who you got? Best team in the NBA right now.
I agree with Freddie. I never thought I'd say that.
Uh,
The Lakers
Welcome to
are
my world.
the Lakers are the best team. AD and LeBron, they can't be touched. Rather, it's from Kyrie and KD when they're healthy, they still can't touch that duo, in my opinion. And I like what Freddie said about comparing them to Kobe and Shaq. I think it could be an argument in a few years once they play together. And to say it's only their second year and they won the finals in their first year, I think that's pretty insane. So they have the potential to be fantastic, and I think that makes them the most dominant team in the NBA.
But I'll tell you this. If KD and LeBron be in the finals, KD's got the better of LeBron the last 3 finals. I'm just telling you that right now. KD.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But you also got Anthony Davis, who can stay with any point guard in the league on the perimeter. So that would be a nice matchup to see. And I really like that Dennis Schroeder was added. I think that fulfilled the
Yep,
point
you're
guard
right.
needs. But
Trey, can I ask you a question? Didn't KD have a squad around him? Didn't he have a
Oh
staff?
my God! It doesn't matter.
I was playing with bombs, okay? He was playing with bombs. So guess what? He could not put his energy on defense because he had to carry the offense.
bro,
So stop that, Trey.
I'm,
listen,
hey, I'm talking about one-on-one. When LeBron was matched up on KD,
KD is 7 foot
KD
tall. He can
Was
shoot
not
over
LeBron
LeBron
LeBron.
not scoring him? Was LeBron not scoring him neither? Was he not giving you 30?
not as consistency as KD was. Heck no.
Was he not? Did he not drop 50 and then average 50 in one of those finals?
Freddie, I agree with you up to this point. KD is 7 foot tall. He can shoot over LeBron James. He can shoot over most defenders in this league. He's one of the best scorers in the league. He would beat LeBron in a one-on-one situation simply
doubt it.
because
I don't
LeBron's
think-
defense is lacking and KD is taller. That's all I got
Man,
there.
Did you in the postseason? Everybody know
Uh,
LeBron.
I don't care about the postseason. I'm
not
saying
about to
their
argue
talent.
Curry versus
All
LeBron.
right.
We talk about the number one team.
All right,
You're the
all
one who
right,
argued,
We
Trey.
went
I'm
off
just-
into
never
we went
mind.
off into the deep end here. Mike,
Yeah,
who's
okay.
the best
All
team
right,
in the
I'm-
NBA?
All right. My take on the best team in the NBA is the Lakers. I think they have the depth. I think with the new additions, Schroeder, I think that when it comes time, crunch time, the Lakers definitely have the best team in the NBA. I tell you what, though, maybe about a week ago, I was going to go with Philly. But one thing that Philly lacks is they do not play well on the road, and that is their downfall. They start off really good. They have a good record, but I thought they might be able, new coach, new energy. But I think if I had push come to shove, I'm gonna go with Lakers.
Michael, don't say that too loud. You have Chris Brown coming here about to throw a little temper tantrum about to going against Philadelphia.
No, he can do that.
Probably
He can do that.
Listen,
It's a
Hey, all
Chris
right.
Brown was talking bad on his Sixers away game yesterday, so I think he'd honestly probably agree with us.
Yeah, because they lost to KD and
yeah, the Nets.
KD
Not
list
even KD.
and the Kyrie list Nets. So yeah, he's probably upset about that. But best team in the NBA, we talk about right now. I'm not talking about later. I'm not talking about down the road. I'm not talking about who has the best team. I'm talking about who's playing the best ball right now. And the team that's playing the best ball right now is the Phoenix Suns. You look at them; they're 6-2. What Chris Paul is doing to really bring that team together, helping them grow, teaching them how to win. It's kind of remarkable what he can do. How he can galvanize a group, especially a group of young kids. I look at their team. They're solid. They got a lot of good pieces with veterans as well. You look at Devin Booker. Obviously, you look at Chris Paul. Once they signed Jay Crowder, I knew they were serious about winning. That's a player that's no matter where he's been, whether it's Boston, whether it's
Miami.
playing with Miami, wherever they win. Whatever team he's on, they win. And I knew that they were serious about winning once they made that signing. And you still got a guy like DeAndre Ayton in the middle. You bring a Javon Carter off the bench who's going to give you 94 feet of full of pressure on defense. I like what they give you. Sarge off the bench, Cam Johnson. I think they're a solid group right now. And I'm talking about right now as far as who's playing the best ball. I think it's the Phoenix Suns. Lakers been getting away, beating with a Grizzlies team with no John Morant, barely getting by. A win's a win, but you expect the Lakers to dominate those matchups. I just feel like the Phoenix Suns is just playing better ball right now. I got them as the best team in the NBA as of right now. I'm not saying they're going to be. I'm just saying right now as we speak, I got the Phoenix Suns as the best. Go ahead.
The only reason why I kind of agree with you is because I'm disappointed in the Lakers defense. I know you guys said nobody play defense, but guess what? That's what we depended on last year to win championships.
That's true. That's true, Freddie. I will give you that. They did depend on that. They did depend on the defense a lot with them winning games for sure. So I agree with you there on that one. All right, moving on. We gotta get through them. Hey, it's been an intense show. We done got going back and forth here, and I like it. That's what it's about here on Boxed Out. The Raptors, y'all. What's going on with them? We last year they played really well. Played well in the bubble for the most part as a team. But they're 1-5 to start, and and it's concerning, really, because the Raptors are a good team, and to see them at 1-5 and have a good coach. So to see them at 1-5, something's not right. I'm going to start with Freddie. What's wrong with the Raptors, man?
Last year, I think they was a little bit. I think that was not them last year. I think them coming off without Kawhi Leonard. They was juiced up. They was motivated. They was encouraged to go out there, fight a little bit harder to say, okay, we could do this without Kawhi. We don't need Kawhi to do this. Then they got the break, and then went to the bubble. And then what happened to the bubble? This year, they're not, because of COVID, they're not in their normal arena. They're in Florida. It's a whole lot of things different than adjusting to. But guess what? I mean, they had to. Let's be real. This season, they have to adjust to any more than anybody else do in any other team. Okay, because they're not at home. Okay, but that's still no excuse. Siakam, he really have not. I mean, he really have not been playing. Up to what we're used to seeing him play at. Kyle Lowry, he's been balling. Fred, Fred. I'm not going to script
Fred VanVleet. It's rough.
There you go. We know what he brings to the table, but I just think this team is just showing you who they are. I still think they need another guy to bring them relevant, but I think, with all the stuff going on this year, it have a lot to affect on them as well. And hopefully they finally get that, going, and I'll get that rolling real soon.
There it is. Landon, what's going on with the Raptors, man? What's wrong with them?
I don't know, but they need to get this together. They're too stacked to be this bad. Pascal Siakam, he's been having problems. Didn't he get suspended by the team?
Yeah, he did this year. Yeah, he got detrimental for a game.
That's terrible. Like, they've got to get this together. And I like what Freddie said about they have to adapt to their new location where they're in Florida now. They are in the worst position in the NBA as of COVID goes because of having to move to a completely different country to play basketball. So
that's weird to say that.
Yeah, I know. I was like, it is a different country, but Pascal Siakam, and then he's not playing like he should. Kyle Lowry is playing great, but he cannot carry that team on his back. He's just not that kind of point guard. And Fred VanVleet's been playing good. So it's all one guy, and it's Pascal Siakam. And I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to blame it all on him. I'm going to blame the bad start on him. He needs to get it together, whether it's behavioral or on the court. And if he can get that together, this team might be able to be fixed. But if that doesn't happen, it's not going to be fixed.
And one more thing, let's not forget they lost two of their starting fives. They lost Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka. So that's right. Those are big pieces that they lost in their starting five as well. So yeah,
absolutely. Mike, what's wrong with the Raptors?
Landon and Fred came up with great points. I mean, the Raptors are going through something that no other team in the NBA is going through right now. You know what I mean? They're faced with, again, like you said, playing in another country, beset by injuries, beset by losing great players. I think Siakam, that situation, can't blame everything on him, but he definitely plays a major role. But again, it's still early in the season, and anything can happen. But I think they're having a hard time playing together right now, and I think maybe there's a little bit of infighting going on with the Raptors right now, and it's going to be real tricky. I think they're going to play a little bit better. I think as the season goes on, we'll see them come through. But right now, they're facing a lot of adversity, and the schedule right now, like they're going away again now for 2 more games. I mean, it's a kind of a tough schedule for them, and they're just trying to get back on track.
Mm-hmm. All right, Trey. What's wrong with them?
Everything. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. They don't have enough scoring. They're only averaging 107 points a game. That's not in today's modern NBA. That's not very good. Pascal Siakam, ever since Kawhi Leonard's left, he cannot be the guy. It's proven last year in the bubble. He's a second fiddle. Nick Nurse wants him to be. Nick Nurse wants him to be the head guy to be like Kawhi Leonard, and he can't do it. He's not that guy. He needs to play like Kyrie needs to be. He's his second guy. Basically, they don't have enough score. You can't count on Kyle Lowry every night. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get from him. Some nights he has a great game, and then some nights he can't hit the right side of the barn. I'm just telling you that.
And a good game for him is like 30 points, so you can't put the whole thing on his back.
He's averaging 19. Fred VanVleet, let's just be honest, he's honestly a 6-man player. He plays better off the bench. Back when they made the championship run, he came off the bench and gave him that spark. They have no bench play. They have no scoring. You can't rely on your point guard, Kyle Lowry, because that's not what he does. You need to rely on him on energy and on the defensive floor, where he picks up the charges and stuff like that, do the grunt work like Patrick Beverley does. But honestly, and it's a shame too, because Nick Nurse is a heck of a coach. He is a very, very good coach. He's not getting, and now people are trying to say, oh, it was Kawhi that did all. No, Nick Nurse is a very good coach. And I think has a lot to do with them going to Tampa Bay as well. Moving away from their family. I mean, they were out just 3 months or 5 months ago in the summer. They had to move to Orlando to be away from their families, and now they have to do it for a whole another season, an even longer stretch of period of time. This time they're away from everything. They're away, and then basically even though they're playing in Tampa, it is a road game for all of them. Let's just be straight up honest with you on that. Good point. I mean, I just think they need. Honestly, if it was me, I would look at Pascal as trade bait and see what you can get for him. That's my honest opinion, because he's not getting any better since his champion. He's digressed every year. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
I agree with you on that trade, but I think it's too late to trade him because they was not willing to trade. Well, I'm just saying they was not willing to trade him for a Paul George to keep Kawhi. So in my eyes, to make a run back for another championship, in my eyes, you gotta still.
What could you get? What could you get for Pascal Siakam?
Honestly, you can get back draft capital. You can get back salary. You can get back.
That's true.
Right, but you're not going to get any valuable pieces to win now.
No, but you're not getting anything with him right now anyway, so why not try to build for the future?
But when he's on the court, and I know he's not been playing as good as he did in the championship, but he was an all-star last year, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was, but after the all-star, he went down.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I believe this can make it work because I believe this coach can turn him into somebody, turn him into a good player. Let's say
it's fantastic.
Let's say we trade him. They trade him to San Antonio for maybe to bring back DeMar DeRozan, who's on the last year of the contract, and maybe some draft picks or whatever to team him back up with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry to team them back up together again on this team. Hey, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. But that's why I love the NBA. Things can change so quick. Like last year, they were a playoff team. This year, they're terrible. They're looking like absolute trash. That's why I like the NBA so much. And it can switch in 2 weeks. They could be the best team in the NBA next week. You know what I mean? That's why you just got to watch. Once Pascal Siakam, if he can play like he was last year, 2 years ago, then they're a team to watch. Because Kyle Lowry's doing his thing. If Pascal can do his thing, they'll be just in the same position they were last year, and they'll be a playoff team again.
All right. With the Raptors, and what I feel like what's wrong with them, is and I'm going to read out some numbers to you and names. Fred VanVleet, 39. Kyle Lowry, 38. OG Anunoby, 38. Pascal Siakam, 38. You know what those are? minutes played.
Played.
Too many minutes for your starters. You know what that tells me? You have no
Okay.
bench. You have no faith in your bench. And I look at the bench. Raptors are a strength in numbers type of team. That's how. Don't get me wrong. Kawhi was a big part of the reason why they won that title, but they had a bench. They had everybody contributing. And that was a big part of what the Raptors' success was. And they don't have that. Obviously. And then you look at what happened with you let Serge Ibaka walk out the door. You let Marc Gasol walk out the door, and you replace them with Alex Len and Aaron Baines. That's not a recipe, honestly, for success there at the center position. And then I look at the rest of their bench outside of Norman Powell, and I like Chris Boucher too, but I'm looking at Alex Len. That's not much to me. Malachi Flynn, a young player, 4 minutes. Yuta Watanabe, 16 minutes. That's not much of anything. Looking at this roster, they're very top heavy, and if the starters is not lugging major minutes or lugging, most of the scoring, this is the outcome you're going to get. And I think they're in the trouble in the sense of where they just don't have enough bodies, and the fact that they are going through a lot. And I thought Freddie made a great point. I think it's starting to wear off. I think it's really starting to set in that they don't have Kawhi Leonard. And, sometimes you play above your heads a little bit. And I just think now at this moment in time, it's starting to hit them. And they don't have the depth as they did last year. And you're seeing this slow start. And amongst the COVID and other things that's happening with the team, and they have to move and all that stuff and play somewhere else, that's just adding more burden. It's early. It's still early. I think they can play better than what they are, but I think there's a little trouble there, with the Toronto Raptors, and I think it's going to be hard for them to get back on track. All right, we got a couple more topics left, and then we got the con man history lesson after that. But now this is a person where he plays hard. I like him a lot. Well, I'm not gonna say I like him a lot, but he plays hard because I really don't care for this guy. But but he plays hard, and I can't, and I respect that to the fullest. Russell Westbrook. Now we see where he's with the Wizards, and I thought maybe since they're a little healthy, Westbrook will stay healthy for the most part. I was anxious to see how him and Bill do. It just hasn't worked. I mean, Bill's balling out, but it's not equating to wins. My question to you, and I'm not saying, if he was the only, obviously we'll pick some other point guards over him. But if you were coaching the team, would you want Russell Westbrook as your point guard? They said you can have, you can have Russell Westbrook or any other point guard. No, not I'm not talking about Steph Curry. I'm not talking about any of those type points. We know we'll pick them over. But I'm talking about here we give you Russell Westbrook and this contract to lead your team, or you going elsewhere. Would you want him on your team as a point guard? And I'm gonna start with Landon on this one. Would you want Russell Westbrook as your point guard to lead your team?
No. I would either have a Chris Paul, a Kemba Walker. I'd rather have somebody like that. And that's just two mediocre point guards that come to mind off rip.
Mediocre?
Sure. Listen, Kemba Walker hasn't showed me anything this year yet. That's all I got.
He's hurt.
He's hurt.
That's what I mean. He hasn't showed me anything yet. We gotta wait.
You call Chris Paul mediocre. I had to stop.
He's old. He's not like
mediocre.
You see what he's doing?
Do you know the definition of mediocre?
Yeah,
Bring
me back.
He's not like
I'm gonna let you finish.
He's not like he used to be, but I would have either of those guys over him. And if I go by his play, I would love to have him. Triple doubles all the time. But it's his attitude and his mindset. It's all over the place. It's either really good or it's really bad. He doesn't have any respect for his teammates, just like the James Harden situation that was terrible. So I wouldn't want Russell Westbrook just because of his mindset and his attitude.
I respect that. I'm gonna go. Chill out, Freddie. You get your chance.
I don't know what he's gonna say.
Uh,
LeBron
Mike,
James at my point guard position.
Mike, go ahead. Would you like Russell Westbrook on your team running the show for you?
Not at his the salary he has right now. No, I wouldn't. But as far as strictly on for his play, absolutely. Russell Westbrook is like you said, he currently plays hard every night. He gives 100%. And what you guys didn't bring up so far, all his teammates love him. His teammates love him. I think he brings a lot of heart to the game. I just think I would kind of monitor his 3-point shooting. But you can't teach what he has. He has that motor in him. You can't teach that. And if I'm a coach, I want to instill that in my other players. And when you have your star player who goes out and plays as hard as he does, I would definitely take Westbrook. Without question.
Trey, would you take him on your team? Would you want him?
Man, y'all are not making it easy on my first show on this.
That's what it's about.
Man, this is a tough one. But Comment, he said that, he gives it his all every night, but so does Chris Paul. And Chris Paul, I would take Chris Paul over. Chris Paul.
He didn't say that. That wasn't the question.
No, I know that, but I'm deferring to you. That's not the only aspect. Like, if we would take any other part, I would take Chris Paul over Westbrook. Just because he's shown me he's not a stat packer like Westbrook is. Let's just be straight up on. He averages a triple-double, but he stat packs more than anybody in the world. I mean, they're up 20 points, and he's still out there in the floor with 2 minutes left trying to get his 10th assist. Yes, he plays hard, but he has yet to show me anything that contributes to winning, I guess you can say. I mean, besides the Kevin Durant, James Harden team when they beat the Spurs to go to the finals, what has he done? They gave him the keys to the franchise. He hasn't done anything. They moved him to Houston. That didn't work out. You see Chris Paul, anywhere he goes, he wins. I mean, I know he barely made it to the Western Conference Finals and all this and that. But Chris Paul makes everyone around him better. And for some reason, Westbrook doesn't. Westbrook, he'll give you a nice stat. He hustle and everything, but his free throw percentage is horrible. He doesn't play. He plays mediocre defense. Yeah, he can jam the ball as a 6'2" point guard. But his 3-point shooting, his pop shot or his pogo stick shot is just ugly to watch. I hate when he shoots. Yeah, he can get hot from 3, make 3 in a row, and then he thinks he's hot, and then he starts shooting like Steph Curry and half court. I mean,
I just said, I love that because that's where I go from the mindset and the attitude.
I understand that, and I like his attitude. I said that, but it doesn't contribute to winning anything.
Exactly. You said it way better than me.
But
that's what I was going for right there. Exactly what you just said.
And I like Russell Westbrook. I loved Russell coming in. He plays hard and he gets on the teammates, and that's what I like. But as a coach, honestly, it depends on who the coach is and who can tolerate him. But me personally, I wouldn't want him right now. I'd rather have an old age Chris Paul, who's a leader, a coach on the floor, better than what Westbrook is.
Gotcha. All right, Freddie, would you want Russell Westbrook on your team? You're the coach of the team.
First off, Michael, thank you for being on this show, giving some knowledge and education. Thank you.
Hey, not all
Here we go, Trey.
Not all the teammates liked Westbrook. Harden didn't.
Now listen. No, that's not true. We all know what Harden was doing. He was being late, and Westbrook wasn't having that. That's why I would want Russell Westbrook on my team because he's going to hold everybody on that team accountable,
except for himself.
Exactly.
We've never seen a Westbrook. We've never heard of a Westbrook being late to film sections, being late to the plane. We've never heard that. Everything we heard that he worked his tail off. And he wants to win, okay? I would want a guy on my team who's going to give me 110% every night. He's not going to cheat me. He's going to give me this. I know what he's going to give me. Okay, only thing this dude has a flaw in his game is that he takes too many 3-point shots, okay? I will get him to tone that down, but give me everything else because you talking about you can't stop him in the paint. Once he's going full speed, you cannot stop him in his paint. He's averaged 10+ assists in his career multiple times. He can get shooters open. This dude will give you. I wish this thing about Landon said, I don't like his mindset, his attitude. But guess what? He have heart. He has something that most of these players don't have. They need to have that mindset. You know who he reminds me of? And I'm not talking about the game. I'm just talking about the mindset. It's like Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant had a baby and they spit out Westbrook. This dude here, I'm just saying their mindset, their mindset was like, hey, they had that mindset, bro. And I respect that. So I'm going yes.
Okay, first off,
Go ahead.
Westbrook never if you criticize anything and he'll badmouth you, he won't talk to you.
Exactly. Because
Second
he thinks he's on top of the world.
He yells at everybody. That's not a good leader. Some people don't like yelling.
I've heard plenty of teammates say, I've heard plenty of his teammates say they love that dude. They
I
love
also heard a lot of players say you don't
Freddie.
like him.
like who?
Like I can't answer that right now.
Exactly.
But
Freddie.
I'm just saying, yes, he plays with heart. But what I'm saying is he doesn't know how. His one way is hard and not teaching these young guys. Where Chris Paul, he does.
When have we ever heard a problem of him not teaching the young guys? Name a time.
Just look at his product.
Name a time.
In Oklahoma City, they were nothing. I'm sorry.
He
Chris
took him
Paul,
to the
everywhere he
playoffs.
goes. Look at the Phoenix Suns. Look what Chris Paul's doing with the Phoenix Suns right now.
He took him to the playoffs without Kevin Durant. What are you talking about, Trey?
Ooh, and lost in the first freaking round.
So what? So what?
Half the teams make it in
Look
the
what
NBA
happened.
playoffs.
Look what happened last year. Chris Paul, OKC.
Listen, you're Damian Lillard, who's apparently the best point guard in the league, lost in the first round last year.
So what's the problem with Westbrook losing the first round?
Because Damian Lillard doesn't have that attitude.
No, I'm not gonna say he's a dog too. I'm not gonna say he don't have the attitude. He's a dog too.
Listen. My only thing is, I think he's on top of the world. You would not tell him to stop shooting threes because if you do, he would flip you off and go shoot 15 threes a night.
When we ever seen that? We've never seen it. He's spoken, but we've never seen this action.
Listen, bro. That's what you're not like. He
Tell
has
me
a
an
mindset.
example when.
He has a mindset that he's Steph Curry, LeBron. He is the shooting of Steph Curry, the finishing of LeBron James, the defense of Anthony Davis, and that's the problem. He thinks he's better than what he really is.
Landon, tell me an example when a coach told him not to do this and he went the opposite way.
I'll give you an example. Every single night when he shoots 5+ threes, I guarantee you his coach is telling him not to do it.
When have we ever heard a coach tell him not to take that many threes? I've never heard a coach him say
Are
that.
you in the locker room every night? We don't know.
Well,
Okay,
because
you can't say it.
well,
But
because
look, wait, hold on.
I'm going to be an NBA coach if they're not telling him to stop shooting 3 balls.
Hold on. Now, as a coach of the NBA is different. You're not telling no superstar what shots he ain't gonna take. You're not in the NBA. You're not telling him what shots he can or cannot take.
But common sense says to stop shooting if you can't hit, right? I mean,
No. I know what you're saying. I get it. I tell my high school that I coach, the prep school I coach, and my that's going into 7th graders that I coach. Certain shots is off limits for certain players. But I'm telling you now, if you're not like a back to the basket center, which ain't many of those, you're not telling nobody what they can or cannot shoot, especially no superstar. You're not telling him anything because you know what? You're fired. Guess who they gonna keep? You or this dude that's making $42 million
and bringing seats and people to this fan.
and bringing people in the stands who got his jersey.
and Triple H.
That's what I said. Nobody's. I promise you, no coach is gonna tell Westbrook not to shoot threes,
That's the
even though they probably thinking it.
Mike
They
Conley
probably thinking
wasn't.
it for
I
sure.
disagree with them on that one point. But there's one coach that will, Greg Popovich, because he was not afraid to yell at a Tim Duncan and to get on to them guys.
But he hasn't
I
played
give you
for
that.
Greg
I give you
Popovich.
that.
He hasn't played for a guy like him.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, bro, like I'm just saying, like, I would love a guy to go. I know it's gonna go to war with me 110% out of every game.
I agree.
Keep me
Now,
anything like that.
He
so I
plays
guess,
so hard, and I respect him.
let me go ahead and answer the question. So the question was, who would I like? Oh man, would I want Westbrook on my team? As hard as he plays, the answer is no. As a coach, I don't know if I would want him on my team. I know he plays hard. He plays with grit. He plays with toughness. However, I've seen him too many times get in, especially in a playoff moment, or not even a playoff moment. I'll just say in an intense battle, an intense game, where it becomes
Personal.
personal. Me versus you.
1v5.
Me versus you. I told you. Once he in that playoff series against Utah, when he let Ricky Rubio get in his head and throw him off his game, I was about done with Russell Westbrook. I'm like, you shouldn't even let Ricky Rubio even nowhere near stratosphere in your head. You are an all-star. You are an all-NBA performer. You are a former MVP in this league. Why are you taking a personal battle with Ricky Rubio? That was my issue. He ended up getting 4 fouls in a half, took himself completely out of the game. And that's what he do when the stakes are high and he gets a little frustrated. He presses, and nothing comes out of it. And as hard as he plays, I think I would rather take a point guard that will be less aggressive, someone that will facilitate. Like I would take, like I know y'all saying names like CP3 Kim, but I would take someone even like a Rondo over Westbrook, because I know Rondo ain't gonna force none. He gonna get other people involved. He gonna take the open shot. He gonna take shots that come to him.
He's got that veteran leadership.
I'm not saying Westbrook not a leader. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm just saying his best mechanism is sometimes to keep pressing, and that ain't what you need sometimes. You know, it's a gift and a curse there with Russell Westbrook. And he plays hard. I respect him, but I don't think I would want to coach him. To be quite honest with you, I don't think I would want to coach him. All right, before we go into the comment history lesson, we got to make this one quick, y'all. Top 3 shooting guards in the NBA, Mike. Who you got?
Curry, Booker, Dame.
There it is.
Who'd you say?
Curry, Booker, and Dame.
See, that's where I'm getting confused. Is Curry a point guard or shooting guard?
You asking me?
Yeah.
He kind of plays both, depending upon what the team needs.
Now I will give you that.
How can you not consider him a shooting guy? How can you not?
Everybody labels him that point. Everybody labels that point guard on him as a position. But I see what you're saying, because a lot of times, heck, Draymond Green bring the ball up the floor.
Is he a point guard or a shooting guard?
And Steph is running off of screens there. So I definitely get that. I understand there. Go ahead, Trey.
Today or past years?
Today.
Man, so many good ones. But yeah, I'm going to go Devin Booker. Donovan Mitchell, and I'll go Bradley Beal, number 1.
I'm very Trey. I'm glad. I'm surprised you said Donovan Mitchell. I didn't think nobody's gonna say him.
Well, how can you know with what he did last year with Jamal Murray? I know it was a bubble, Cam, and nothing. It was Greg Ball, but what they put on last year and his growth each year,
he's good.
He's starting to become one of those great superstars that we're going to talk about. He can do it all. He can dunk. He can shoot threes. He can take a game over, and we've seen that. But Bradley Beal is what he did the other night. That boy is on fire. They need to free Bradley Beal. He needs to go
out
with
of Washington.
Yeah, he needs out of Washington. I agree. Freddie, top 3.
Number 1, I'm going Luka. We've seen what this dude done in Dallas. He's been a straight ball. I mean, he's going to be MVP this year.
Yes, sir. I said that.
Going with Luka. Number 2, I'm going with Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker right now, he's on a mission, man. He's been seeing what James Harden is doing here for the last few years. He's going to say, okay, it's my turn. I'm going to show you why I'm that dude. I got Chris Paul. I got the leader. I got the team to back me up. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go with what Trey said, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, this dude, I don't think he can never respect what he's done in Utah for the last couple of years. Carried this team deep in the playoffs, you know. I mean, what he's been able to do, you know, what he gave to 50 points going back and forth with Jamal Murray. That dude's a dog. You know, so, yeah, that's my top 3 right there.
Landon, top 3 shooting guards.
All right. There's no order because all these guys are phenomenal. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Jamal Murray. No order. They're all fantastic. And I had Donovan Mitchell at 4, but it was between Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell, and Jamal Murray is just more impressive to me. I honestly couldn't tell you why. It's because of Jokic. I just like the play. I just like the way he plays, and they play almost identical. I feel like Jamal Murray has a little bit more playmaking than Donovan Mitchell, though, and that's why I picked him over Donovan Mitchell.
All right, That's a good one. Top three for me. I really thought shooting guards. Con Man threw a wrench in there, really, with the combo guard move.
Yeah,
Um, but
I like it though.
I'll still, yeah, I do too. I'm definitely gonna stick to the list here. Um, what I have is number one is James Harden still. We,
No.
we can't forget what James shooting guard. He come from the strip club fat and give you 44 and 17. I mean, it's true. I mean, out of shape, give you 44 and 17. I mean, that's that. I'm sorry. That's number one shooting guard for me. Number two, right now, I like Bradley Beal. I really do like Bradley Beal. He's dropping buckets. Free Beal. Get him out of Washington, please.
Exactly.
Um, and number three, I know everybody wants to flash in the pan new star, and I understand he got kind of a bad rap right now. But number three, to me, is Paul George. Here's why: two-way player. There's not many people that could do what Paul George can do. I mean, it's not. You talk about a guy that's 6'10". You talk about a guy that's 6'10", put the ball on the floor, two-way player, can defend, can shoot the three, can drive hole, got that mid range, that paint game, and can shoot the three. And like I said, he had a bad playoffs last year. He had some bad playoff runs. But let's not get it twisted. Before he messed up his shoulder at OKC, he was an MVP candidate. I just think we look at a moment and we just want to just pin it on him for his whole, for the whole season and his whole, whole career. And that wasn't the case. He had a good regular season last year. He had a good season last year. Going into the bubble, I kind of erased the. I mean, I'll take the championship away, Freddie, from the Lakers in the bubble. However, a lot of things that happened in the bubble, I don't take stock in. Because a lot of teams play above their heads in the bubble. A lot of teams play below their level in the bubble, and individuals as well. So I kind of throw that out the window a little bit. But yeah, I got Paul George's top three shooting guard. I got Harden. I got Bill and I got George. I got George. That rounds out my top three. But all right, we towards the end here, and we need to have a history lesson from our guy, the Con Man here. All right, drop some knowledge on this, brother.
All right, gentlemen. I want to put something to you guys before I go on with it. What do you think are the major changes that made the NBA the way it is today? You guys have any idea?
The 3-point shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the shot clock era.
Shot clock era. Okay. Anybody else?
I'll say shot clock too.
Shot clock? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good answers, but they're not at all. Okay, I'm gonna try to run it to you real quick. The changes that were made to make the NBA the way it is today were not even done on the court. It was done off the court. There were two civil action suits. The number one being with Oscar Robertson. And what Oscar Robertson did was, back in the day when he played, Oscar Robertson had asked for a raise, and they wouldn't give Oscar Robertson a raise. And Oscar Robertson, in turn, felt that the owners were being like slave owners. And Oscar Robertson took that case, and it was a civil action suit. And what that case did, what's he talking about? What that case did is it enabled players to move from different teams to different teams, which ended up becoming what they call now free agency. That never would have taken place if it wasn't for Oscar Robertson. So that right there is number one. Because what they're entitled to, back in the days when Oscar and them were playing, the salary was only $35,000 a year. Within 6 months after that class action suit, the average salary was $185,000. So that made a big difference in having players being able to go from team to team to team. That was number one. Number two, Spencer Haywood. Spencer Haywood came from the cotton fields down south. Spencer Haywood went to the University of Detroit. And what they did was they put him in classes where he wasn't able to get a real good education. Now, as I just stated, he grew up in the cotton fields. Parents were real poor, but he had a skill, he had a talent. And basically what happened was they said, you're going to take, whatever badminton. I'm just giving an example. The courses that he was taking were not going to help him, benefit him in his quest to make some money for his family. So what he ended up doing, again, going to the courts. And what happened was what they call now, it's called the hardship rule. And what that states is if you can claim that you have a hardship, you can leave before your graduation date. Now, look how many players now leave after 1 year. That would not have happened if it wasn't for Spencer Haywood. Those are two things that were held off the court that enabled the way the NBA is on the court. Now, as far as on the court, there's two things. You know that little circle, the restricted area below the basket?
Yeah.
You know why that was formed? That restricted area was formed because of Will Chamberlain. They tried in their powers to make sure that Will Chamberlain would not be as dominant. So that's why they put that little restricted area, which now made it a little more difficult for Will Chamberlain to score, although he still did. That was number one. And number two, what they took away was the dunk, Lou Alcindor. Now, if you recall, because of Lou Alcindor, players could no longer dunk in college. And what that did, now picture all these great players like David Thompson, I'll go on and on and on and on, that if they were able to dunk. So the four things I'm talking about, two of them were done off the court. They enabled players, first of all, to go into free agency and to leave before their graduating year of college. Now look, if that didn't occur, how would the NBA be? It might have been different for the fact that players would now have to go for 4 years before they were able to graduate. You know what I mean? Or going to the NBA. But now, if you could claim hardship, you could leave after your first or second year. And because of those two individuals, that's changed the whole scope of the NBA and the way it was interpreted and the way it was played. Now, one thing about me is that I'm not only talking the talk, I'm walking the walk. What I've done is I've made contact with those two individuals, Oscar Robinson, Spencer Haywood. I have made contacts. Yes, both of them. Yes, I have. Because again, I saw with my own eyes what they had to go through for the players of NBA today to reap the benefits. And that's why when you talk to me, you ask me a question, I see things through a different lens, is what I'm trying to say. And I can go on and on and on, but I mean, I think that's pretty good for right now. Next time we can talk about me playing against Dr. J, Nate Archibald, we can talk about Michael Bonds, we can talk about playing against Pat Ewing.
Yeah, we could break those down definitely next time. And that's why, when we put this show together, we always wanted you to kind of cap off with a history lesson there. That's good stuff, man. It's always good to know, where the game come from and why it is what it is today. And like I said, I'm always tuned in at the end when you give that knowledge, man. So we appreciate that for sure.
Thank you.
We appreciate that for sure. And we're about to wrap it up here on Boxed Out. It was a good show here. Definitely every Friday, y'all. Every Friday, we're talking about, is at 7 Central, 8 Eastern time. Make sure you tune in. It'll be myself. It'll be Landon. It'll be Trey. It'll be Mike. Freddie will be popping in here and there sometimes, but mainly it'll be us four. And we're gonna bring the heat every Friday with the NBA, give you all the up-to-date news and all the up-to-date topics. Anybody else got anything to say before we wrap it up?
Man,
I love those history lessons. I love those. I didn't know any of that.
Just tune in this Sunday, man. We got who is it? Mess Around and Brandon. They be going. They got the debate.
That's right.
Oh, the debate. Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that.
Hey, and we got a special guest coming on Real Talk that we're not going to announce until Sunday. So stay tuned.
All right, sounds good. I don't even know about that one. Yeah,
I didn't know about that either.
But hey, it's always good to wrap it up with you guys and talk with you guys. And until again, until next Friday, we'll be here. Make sure you catch Real Talk. All of the shows that happen on ASA. Will been talking a lot of trash for a person that came in second, who lost to me and all.
He backed
But
it up in week 1.
But he backed it up in week 1. But Will, you got a long way to go to face the champ, and and the champ is coming for blood. But all right, y'all, that's it. It's another show, Boxed Out. Continue to watch All Sports All Plays Network. All of the shows that's on the network. We put a lot of hard work into it, a lot of time into it, and we try to give you the best sports coverage we can. All right, we out. Peace.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays.